Let's continue our discussion in PHP data types. Now this is very important tutorial because we are going to cover all data types in CSS. That will be string data type, integer data type, float data type, boolean data type, array data type, object data type, and these two are very important. As well as null data type and resource data type. That is the advanced topic. So we'll be covering all these data types in PHP, how to use them, why to use them. So let's get started. But before jumping into VS Code, I'll tell you that if you haven't accessed these PHP tutorials, access it and watch all the videos so that you can cover all the previous concept, because we have covered a lot of things and we will be covering a lot of things, and at the end of this tutorial we will be creating real websites in PHP, front end, back end, HTML. We'll be using HTML, CSS, all those things that we needed. So let's get started first with PHP object data type. Now what is object? If you're a programmer and you have some experience while using C, C++, Python, on any other programming language, then you must be familiarized with classes and objects. These two are two main aspects of object-oriented programming. A class is nothing but it is a template for objects. When you create a class, it means that you are creating a template for object, and an object is an instance of that class. So when the individual objects are created, they inherit all the properties and behaviors from the class, but each object will have different values. Okay, each object will have different values for the properties. So suppose I have created a class and there are so many properties, functions, methods. Now when I create an object, I can create different objects for each property, and I can perform different operation on that properties or methods. Now let's assume we have a class by the name of car, and a car can have properties like model and color, etc. We can define variables like model, color, and so on to hold the values of these properties. Okay, when the individual objects, such as suppose we have created the object of Volvo, BMW, Toyota, etc., are created, they inherit all the properties and behavior from the class. So when you create these objects, whatever within the class, they will inherit it from that class, but each object will have different values for properties. So we will be using constructor. Constructor is a special function within any class. When you create an object of that class, then this function will automatically executed the moment you create an object for that class. So let's do it practically. First thing first, you need to import here a class. Okay, first you need to import here PHP basic syntax. This will be your PHP. Okay, now here first we need keyword class, then give your class name, such as in my case car. Now what I will do, first we need to create properties. So visibility will be public for each property, then $sign, so it will be color. The second one will be public as well, and this will be model. Now these two properties will be used by our objects. So let's create the special function, that is constructor, this one, this. Okay, so its visibility will be public as well. Now here we use function before creating any function. Now give the constructor, that is construct. Now within this construct, it can, let me give it two parameters. One will be color, the other will be model. You can give it any name, you can give it just A or B, but I will give model and color. Okay, so this constructor will automatically executed the moment I create an object of that class. Now here I'll be using this keyword, this. After that arrow function to indicate that I am targeting this variable. This means I'm going to target, to change, to put, to do anything with this variable. So I will pass to this variable this parameter, I mean this one. Whatever the value will come into this two, I will be passing from this color to this one. Okay, let's do the same thing for the other one. So $sign this arrow function, this will be arrow function, yeah, and this time it will be model, and let's say we are passing model. So this constructor will get this two parameter will get two values. Actually these two parameter are nothing but they are working like a signal tower. They will get signal and it will pass inside this constructor, and we have given from this two tower values to this two new variable. No, not new variable, these are these two variable. Okay, these two variable. Okay, now after that I will create my own method, my own function. Okay, so let me give it a name by the name of details. So now it will nothing, it will, we are not going to pass anything into this function. That's why we are just going to return what car details, or let's concatenate. We are using dot operator in PHP language for concatenation. So here I'll be targeting what that I'm going to while returning value of which one. I'm going to return the value of color. So $sign color, and again concatenate. So in double quote, and model is, okay, the spelling should be correct as a programmer. So again concatenate $sign, this should be $sign, this arrow function. Now this time it would be model. Okay, so what we have done, first we have created this class by the name of car, and within this class it has two properties. You can call it variable, property, whatever you call it. Now this two model will be used in all the function of that class. Okay, after that we have created the special function, the special method, that is construct, and it has two parameter, color and model. The whatever value will come into these two parameters, it will be stored in this color and model variable. After that we have created a details functions, a function in which we have just returned this two variable with these two messages. Amazing. So we have done and everything in our template. Now let's create object of this template of this class. So let me create first object by the name of mycar1, and after that you have to pass here a new keyword. This will create space in the stack for your class. So after that you have to pass the name of your class. So in my case I have a car. So the moment I create object of my class, then this constructor will automatically execute it. So I don't need to do anything. So I will directly pass here values. So I'll be say that the color is the red and model is BMW. Okay, after that I can target the attributes. These are behaviors, functions, methods, whatever you call, with the help of this object. So in PHP you will have to use arrow function, but we are going to print it because we have returned the value. So we have to print it while calling that function. So echo after that the name of your object, that is mycar1, arrow function to target what details. This is the function. So control S, go first, you have to run, you have to start this Apache, then go to your browser and type there localhost and the name of your folder and enter. So we have a file tutorial 19 by the name of data type. So let me open it, and we have a lot of errors. So we have made some mistakes. So undefined variable color, okay, on line 24. Undefined property car, okay, on line 24. Undefined variable model on line 24. Amazing, 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 amazing. Okay, line 24, you have a lot of undefined. Why undefined? This should not be undefined. So let's say this time we are just using, now we have to use arrow. Okay, so function details, within this we have returned the value, this color and model, this model. Then why is okay, we have made a mistake, we have used here a $sign. So you don't need to use here a $sign because we are targeting this color, this one. It is called a variable or property, whatever you call. We are this time while returning this color and model, you don't need to pass the $sign. Otherwise it will give you an error because we have used this keyword. So Control S, go to your browser. Where are you? And go to here and just reload it. Undefined property car model on line 24. So the error is just because of this $sign. So remove it. The reason is, I'll tell you, whenever you use this keyword, it is going to just target the variable, and we have already declared it. We don't need to declare it further. So remove this $sign from model as well, and you have to remove it here because we have used this keyword. So Control S, go to your browser and reload the page, and this time it will work. As you can see, car data is red and model is BMW. Amazing. Car, this should be car data. Okay, car data is not R. This and model is this. Okay, now what I will do, I will just copy paste this thing and I will create another object because now this is my template and I can do a lot of things. So let me give it a name, this time 2, and the color will be, let's say, white. Okay, and this will be tuto, okay, tuto, and let me include here a br tag so that we can see everything on your line. So br, so Control S, and after Control S, and you can call it, you can reload the page. As you can see, red. Okay, this time what is the issue? Okay, I haven't changed here it, so you have to change this object as well because this object will give this value to this data, return it will, and it will be printed right here. After that, we have again created this my car, and it will automatically execute this function constructor again, and with the help of this object we have target the details, and it will return this time these other values that we have passed right here. So Control S, go to your browser and reload the page. So this time white model, and the first one is red, red color, and model is BMW, but this time white color, and the model is Toyota. Amazing. So that was all about what? That was all about let me show you object data type. So what I will do, I will control and forward slash. Okay, again I have just commented all these lines because I don't want to print anything again. This time we are going to deal with array data type. So let me create here an array. Now first let's discuss what is array data type. An array stores multiple values in a single variable in a consecutive memory location. So let's say that I have an array by the name of my cars, and first include PHP syntax. So okay, now let me say that I have an array by the name of my cars, and after that array, now create array BMW. So within this array we have multiple cars such as Toyota, and we have, let's say, another Mercedes. Okay, so this is our array. Now what I can do, I can simply print this array, my cars, and Control S, go to your browser and reload your page, and we will see the result. Warning, array to string conversion. So on line 28 we have an error because of array to string conversion. So let's remove it. It will give you an warning. The reason is you have to pass here because this is a string type. You have to check, and while checking the type of your array, you have to pass here var underscore dump, so that you can print with the index number and also the type of your array. If I reload it, as you can see, array 3 size at 0 index, it has BMW at 0 at index 6, and you can consider it, the 3 is, you can consider it says that it has 3 characters. Okay, it has 3 characters, BMW, and the 6 here you can consider that this letter, this word has 6 character, and here Mercedes has 8 characters. So while using var_dum with your array, you can also check the character length, array length, and index number. So at index 0 we have this, at index 1 we have this Toyota, and index 2 we have Mercedes with all the length of characters. So that was array. We will not explore it. We will explore it in a other tutorial about array very deeply. Okay, so let me comment these lines. Okay, let me remove it. Now what I will do, I will discuss string type. Very simple. A string is a sequence of characters like hello world. It's similar in array, but the only difference is that it is a sequence. Otherwise they have similarities. So a string can be any text inside quotes. You can use single or double quotes. So let's say I am going to print here, but first let me include PHP syntax. And within this PHP syntax, I'll be saying that I have a variable by the name of phrase. Within this phrase, I'll be saying that hello world, are you ready to subscribe my channel? Okay, and after that I will simply print it, nothing else. So phrase, Control S, go to your browser, and hello world, are you ready to subscribe my channel? Now you can do anything, such as you can use loop to get all the values, then you can grab at their index number just this letter or this letter. We will do in the series, in the tutorial of string, we will do all these things. We will be using loop, for loop, and we will be using if statement, so that we can play with all this string data type. Okay, so let me comment it out as well. Okay, let me remove it. Now integer type. So integer type is and it is used to store integer data types without a decimal number. Okay, it could be positive or negative. Now there are some rules for integer data type, such as it must be at least 1 digit, and integer must not have a decimal point. Integer can be either positive or negative. Integer can be specified in decimal. So all these steps you can check, but I will use here example. So let's say num. Okay, again PHP. So let me declare here a variable by the name of num, and it will store 111. So I'll simply print, and this time I will be using var_dum, so that I can also check the type of my data. Now let's pause this num. So Control S, go to your browser and reload it. So 111 with integer data type. Now you can pass it negative value as well, because integer can be positive as well as negative. So let's reload again, and it will be negative. So that was integer. Now float is the values in decimal points. So let me say that this time I'll be using 2.2. So this will be your float, because now we have used decimal points. So load it, so as you can see, and you can also print it positive, negative. So let me remove this, and let me copy this, Control X. Now let's discuss Boolean type. Okay, so paste it. Boolean represent two possible states. One will be true, the other will be false. Now this is very important data type. Whenever you create games, then you will use Boolean type variables. Okay, and I will be doing here that I have bool1, and it will store true value, and let's say I have bool2, and it will store false value. So I'll be say that echo var_dum, in which I'll pass the first bool, and let's say in the other one echo var_dum, in which I'll pass bool2. So Control S and go to your browser, and it will print true and false with their data type. So bool type true and bool type false. Okay. Now what is null value in PHP? So a null is a special data type which can have only one value in null. A variable of data type null is a variable that has no value. A variable that has no value is called null. So we will be doing it right here. Just right here. So let's say my var will be equal to string such as kindly, or let's say hello YouTubers. YouTubers. Now let me use another variable by the name of, okay, the one thing you have to remember while using null value, then you are going to empty this value. So I will use the same variable, so my var, and I will be using here null. Okay, so this, first let me print it here before echo my var, where are you, my var, and after that I am going to empty this my var and I will be printing it again. So $sign my var, Control S, go to your browser and reload it. Hello YouTubers, but the second time there is nothing because we have empty. So you can do it such as check so that we can understand it, that is it empty or not. Control S, go to your browser and reload it. As you can see, check is empty. Now the last one is PHP resource. The special resource type is not an actual data type. In reality, it is not a data type. It is the storing of a reference to functions. It is store the reference of a function and other resources such as external in PHP. A common example of using the resource data type is a database call. When you target, when you call database, when you get values from database, this is the common example of resource data type. We will not cover it right here because it is advanced topic and we'll be covering in other tutorials. So see you there.